I feel like the human body is some sort of biological prison for people that have reached a high enough level of awareness. And it's a very specific level of awareness, which naturally doesn't belong in this world. Now, as for me, my body just feels so foreign to me. Basically, ever since I began this awakening, my body does not feel the same. Now, I'm not saying I'm a freak because I feel like I'm ugly and unattractive. No, that's just very surface level talk. But when you reach a level of awareness that usually people don't have, it feels like your consciousness is just dwelling inside of a piece of meat that isn't really yours. It's just simply a placeholder. At least to me, I don't know about you guys. Your consciousness, your inner self, your true self, it's not just a piece of meat or a piece of some bones and stuff. It's not an organ, it's not your skin, it's none of that. It's something that's obviously far greater than that. This body is pretty much, it's just simply, again, a placeholder, a tool that contains my consciousness, which that's what I really am, that's who I am. But obviously in the real world, none of this matters because no one can see the true you. So if all of it can see is what's on the surface, then, human beings being as shallow as they are, being as stupid as they are, that's what they decide to judge. Oh, you're fat. Oh, you're ugly. Oh, I don't like your skin color. Even though none of us really asked for that. Even though, again, that piece of meat that's being so heavily criticized, it's not us. It's basically like a suit of armor, in which you're hidden inside. To most people, what they see is, oh, you're a 2, oh, you're a 3. I don't even know why I brought that up, I just found it very, interesting. But about what I was saying about a suit of armor, what if we can eventually one day put our consciousness, what if we can put that inside of some sort of object that does not live or breathe? Like, you know what I mean, like a suit of armor, like on some Full Metal Alchemist type stuff. Or maybe we can upload our consciousness into some sort of video game or some sort of alternate reality that we can construct with our brains. Like, a lot of people ask me, tragic reality, what would you do, what kind of world would you create if this current world is so bad? Now, I don't know the answers, but obviously when I think of heaven, when I think of what I want my life to truly be, what if eventually there's a way all of us can just upload our consciousness into this alternate reality, inside of this alternate reality, and at that point we'd basically be living, in heaven forever. You might say, wait, but like, what if we get bored of it? Well, again, you could imagine whatever you want. You could imagine yourself to not get bored of this reality. Like, these are things that, maybe one day in the future they're gonna happen. Maybe one day we won't need this body. Maybe whatever happens to this body, it doesn't affect us once we do, plug our consciousness into anything we want to. Now, people might be like, wait, why would we even want to do that? Why not just live in this current reality? Well, if that's what you're wondering, well, look around. Look how miserable this reality is. I've made numerous videos talking about this. I don't really feel the need to regurgitate my points. You guys should know it yourselves. Life can be better than this. The way we live in this society in 2025, this is not what life is supposed to be. And my other reasoning, at least just for me, is this body is just more of a burden. I just don't think this body is supposed to be here. It feels like my consciousness was just uploaded into a suit of meat and a decaying shell that clearly was not meant for me. It just feels like I'm trapped in this body, and I don't even know how long this has been happening to me. Maybe it's because I hit the you-know-what a bit too much. Or maybe I'm just becoming too self-aware, a bit too much for my own good, to be honest. The human body in general is just absolutely disgusting. You gotta pee, you gotta poop, you get that morning breath. You bleed, obviously, you sweat, you smell like garbage unless you put on a bunch of artificial things. Like, naturally, we're just disgusting creatures. And I just sometimes ask myself, why do I have to be trapped in this body, this suit of flesh? Because this body is so fragile, and you constantly have to maintain it, not because you even want to, really. Like, who's really thinking about, oh, I can't wait to clean myself, I can't wait to brush my teeth? Like, no one's really thinking about this stuff, we just do it. Because if we don't do it, we're gonna feel disgusting. It feels to me like I'm some sort of caretaker for this body. You gotta clean it, you gotta maintain it all the time. The body is a burden because it's something you have to continuously maintain and take care of, just for the true self, just for your true self to function. So again, what if you could just upload your true self, your consciousness, into whatever you want, into a reality, into a video game, into a body? And I thought about this a lot, and this is something I completely would do. And sometimes I kind of wonder if people feel the same way as I do. Feeling like a freak, but not because of society's made-up expectations and beauty standards. No, not that, that's all surface level. But instead because you're trapped inside of a suit of meat. Oh, they're attractive. Oh, they're unattractive. Oh, they're black. Oh, they're white. It's not really ever about who you are. And I have to talk about the topic of racism real quick. This is kind of why I never really was bothered when people say racist things about me, like growing up and using the internet and even in real life. Oh, you're black. Oh, you're this. Oh, you're that. I felt so detached because I'm like, wait, these are just labels that this made-up system just gave to me. What is being white? What is being black? These are just made up. These are just colors, and we made up colors, this is not real. These are just made up things. Color is not something that actually exists in the natural world. It's a concept that we created. So that's why when someone says something racist, I'm just like, what are you even insulting? White, black, Asian? Those are just all categories made up by human beings, made up by our perception. Again, because color is basically just, light bouncing off of a surface? We made up the concept of color based off of our brain's perception, which in turn created a social construct called race, and then a whole bunch of other baggage, which is something that does not represent who you are whatsoever. And this kind of got me thinking, what if we all just don't have a body? What if we all just get rid of our bodies and we just become floating consciousness? And we're all just a piece of energy, pretty much. I don't know, maybe there's some sort of alternate reality or dimension where this is a thing. But obviously that's not really probable because all of this only exists because we have a brain. And you can't have consciousness without a brain. But I'm just saying, what if? I just found it just so ridiculous recently, and I find it absurd how humanity places such strong emphasis on the body. Why do we identify so much with things that we can't control but we just have? Like the color of our skin, the nose shape that we have, our ethnicity, our hair, our height. None of this is who we are. There's just no possible way I can imagine a reality where something as trivial as the body doesn't matter. I just cannot imagine it. But with that being said, that's basically it. I'm kind of sick, so I'm not going to make a long video today. Maybe you guys can tell by my voice, maybe not, but I am sick. So yeah, signing out.